agree more with everything you said. And I think our greatest challenge when we put our minds together was how do we uh, disrupt it, not for the sake of disruption, but actually create something that is needed in the industry. And therefore, the combination of Symbiosis' academic excellence and TOC's practitioner-led approach is a lethal combination, if I may. And we live and breathe guidance. I know most of you in this room, we know that we live and breathe guidance day in and day out, and we know how many gaps there are that exist in learning. And with that, I would love to invite Dr. Devlankar to talk us through the actual curriculum of modules 1 and 2. She will share an overview, and the purpose of this is the fact that you're in the room. It means you're clearly considering signing up for this program. Great choice being here. Even better choice if you sign up after this webinar. We have a deadline on the 4th of Feb. That's when we stop taking enrollments and applications. I also want to tell you that as a member of this cohort, if you join this training, you become a Symbiosis alum. You get access to the Symbiosis alumni ecosystem. And I will let Dr. Devlankar shed more light on that and what that means for you. So, Dr. Devlankar, over to you.
Yes, so thank you, ma'am, for that lovely introduction. And with Sonali ma'am also, who she gave an introduction on to what's the importance of guidance and counseling, especially in today's world. So I move ahead with this a little bit more onto this. So this is our, a very short-term program where you will be able to understand, the very basics of guidance and counseling. So the program structure says that we'll be having two courses followed by a skilling training module. So the first one of is the basics of guidance and counseling, where we will be throwing our light onto 10 units as such, which will give you a very in-depth understanding of human development process, concepts, what are the actual concepts of guidance and counseling, with what exactly happened in the history, okay, and how it has been a very challenging, changing part, which has been seen in the 21st century. We'll also be throwing light onto the purpose, goals, and the types of counseling with the process, which happens to be a very important part of counseling. And the process itself will give you a very in-depth idea. Come out with whatever difficulty or maybe deviance or maybe any a disorder which you are countering with your client, or maybe with a school going child or a teacher who's having any difficulty, the process somehow remains the same. So we'll be throwing light on the process of counseling, followed by the techniques. What are the psychometric assessments which are there in guidance? And then we'll also be focusing our attention on to referrals. What exactly it is, when it is to be used. So we will be also having a in-depth discussions on to referrals and the ethical considerations which are seen in guidance and counseling. What are the legal issues which are also to be taken into consideration while you given your guidance and services, guidance services to your clients. So these clients can be students, can be teachers, can be parents, can even be non-teaching staff, everyone who is into the umbrella of an educational institution can take into consideration. And further, everyone who is having any difficulty as such will be taken into consideration. And then we move on to the skilling part, that is the counselor and counseling skills. So probably which are the skills which are required in for giving in efficient and effective counseling services. So, apart from the skillings, we'll also be talking about how you will be able to counsel parents, or maybe what type of counseling services and skilling which is required for career counseling, or giving in counseling services for the old age children. In today's world, the multiculturalism is also seen. Like if you just consider any classroom, you'll find children coming from different backgrounds. So what exactly are the skills which are required for multicultural counseling? and also for special groups. With that, we'll also be throwing light on self-management skills and social competencies. So, in a nutshell, you will find yourself much more comfortable because in today's world, just not enough to having theoretical knowledge, something which you have to put into practice, into daily life experience. That is exactly where we will be talking about counseling skills in this course of us, which happens to be the second one, which will be followed by the skill training module with action learning. So, yes, we will be having three online workshops, something which we will be giving you an exposure to do something by your hands, with your heart and head together, the three H's. Okay. So, three online workshops which are very compulsory to be attended with. And then at the end of this, we will be having an evaluation done on any two. You can pick up, a choice for you, and you can submit in your submissions on to any two of the workshops. Sort of the guidelines also we'll be giving you all for what you will be submitting, and that will be for 50 marks. So that is what our syllabus says, or maybe you can take into consideration what you will be doing through us throughout your journey with us for a very short period of time, 3 months, but it is totally heavily packed up. Okay. And every unit which I talked about just now will be having a corresponding 1 hour discussion. Okay. So it will be really great if you shed off some time, formulate your own schedule, attend these live classes. Live classes are will be taken by the already people who are already counselors, already working at the in the grassroots level, giving counseling services. So you will get in all those live examples from them. It will be, a heavily, like it will be a rich amount of information which you will be exposed to, making yourself comfortable for establishing yourself as counselors. So that's from me.
Thank
And
you.
if you want me to tell about evaluation methodology, would you like to?
Yeah, we'll just come to that. I'll take them
Yeah.
through the third module, and then after that,
Yes.
we need to talk to them about the evaluation rubrics.
Surely.
So, in it's a thank you so much, Dr. Devlankar, for the overview. Modules 1 and 2 are theory and heavily focused on learning from academic experts who have been delivering Symbiosis' own 1 year long program. So a lot of in-depth theory and a lot of academic understanding is what you will gain. In module 3, Dr. Devlankar, as she mentioned, there will be 3 workshops. Let me take you through now what I believe is going to be the real differentiator of not just this program, but the real differentiator between this and any other program that I have seen, our industry skills module. And I want to start by explaining why this matters so deeply. Think about any profession you respect, right? Medicine, law, I mean, we respect all professions as counselors, but think about any profession. In every single one of these fields, right? Whether it's medicine, law, architecture, art, design, teaching, you don't just study theory, ideally, and then get handed a certificate that says you're ready, right? You have mentorship, you have internships, you have some work experience. You shadow experienced professionals. You practice in real environments before you're fully responsible for someone's well being, future, or your own functional job role, right? And yet, when it comes to guidance counseling, a field where we are literally shaping young lives, navigating complex family dynamics, and in influencing just critical career decisions, we have somehow accepted that theory alone is enough. That you can read about just counseling techniques and pass an exam and then walk into a room and with a struggling teenager or an anxious parent, and just you'll know very magically what to do. So that's the gap we're addressing here. Because the truth is that no matter how well you understand Carl Rogers or Maslow's hierarchy or developmental milestones, the first time you sit across from a parent who's convinced that their child is making the wrong career choice, or a student who's facing real mental health challenges, or a school administration that just does not understand the value of counseling, theory doesn't prepare you for those moments. Experience does. So mentorship does. So watching someone who's been there, done that, learning from their experiences, their strategies, asking them questions and understanding how they navigate these conversations or critical moments, that is what helps in preparing you. So module 3 is built on this fundamental belief that guidance and counseling, like any other profession, it requires hands-on learning, mentorship, and active skill building to complement theory. As a result, the Outreach Collective has appointed a set of practitioners who are extremely experienced career counselors. Some of them are actually also in this room. We have Charshila, we have Ulka, we have Dr. Rashi, and they are some of the practitioners with years of experience in guidance and counseling. And this module will have 3 live workshops, as we mentioned. And I want to emphasize the word live because they will be recorded, but you cannot learn from pre-packaged content when it's a workshop. Sure, you may miss. Um, we understand it's not ideal, um, but these are in dynamic experiential sessions, right? And so the first workshop focuses on global education and collaborative guidance. So here's a reality. Students today aren't just choosing between engineering and medicine anymore, right? They're exploring gap years, international curricula, skill-based pathways, and career options that did not exist 5 years ago or even 3 years ago. But here's what your theoretical training just does not address often, which is how do you have these conversations? So how do you guide a family through IB versus CBSE? Or how do you help a student evaluate international opportunities when you need to understand visa pathways, credential recognition? So this workshop gives you a lot of practical frameworks and real case studies and hands-on strategies to navigate these real conversations. The second workshop is about stakeholder engagement and community outreach. So, because there's just no textbook that really tells you that your success as a counselor is not just about one-on-one sessions, right? It's about building trust with an ecosystem because it takes a village to raise a child. So whether it's the parent or the teachers or school leadership or the family, extended family, it's about collaborating with that ecosystem of people who are influencing the student. It's about engaging with universities or with administrators who, if you're working in a school, they want to see the ROI of your work. So this workshop teaches you how to communicate across different stakeholders and how do you manage resistance, how do you showcase what you have done, and how do you push for your thoughts and your ideas, and how do you build a community of support, right, to position yourself as a valuable partner in this ecosystem and not just someone who does what everyone is telling them to do. The third workshop focuses on business branding and collaborative networking strategy. My personal favorite. Whether you are joining an institution or you're building your own practice as an independent counselor, you need to know how to position yourself professionally, right? Build your credibility, create a network, because they say network is net worth, and they're right. So this isn't about marketing, aggressive marketing, but it's about thoughtful professional development, ethical practice, and then creating those collaborative networks that help you grow in your career and help your practice improve from a quality perspective, not just scale. So what makes these workshops really transformative is the format. You'll be working through real case studies. You'll be working through group work, a lot of live examples, video content, like a combination of different experiences. And each workshop will be a different experience. So by the end of module 3, you'll have practical strategies, professional frameworks, and a toolkit of real world approaches. So, and of course, walk away with a network of peers who've done this absolutely amazing program with you, and that's your starting point of your community. So that's all for me from for module 3. And now that you understand modules 1, 2, and 3, understand the overview of the curriculum, um, comes my favorite part. When I was in school, I loved exams. I was a nerd. Dr. Devlankar, if you would like to talk us through the assessments and the evaluation for this program, that would be great.
Yes, certainly yes. So whenever there is a teaching learning process, there's something which is called as an evaluation process, which leads us to certain certification. So, that we cannot just skip off the evaluation methodology here. So, we will be having two courses, as I said, basics of counseling, and the second one is counsel and counseling skills. Okay, so every course will be having an exam of 70 marks, which will be further classified to 70/30. Sorry, every course will be having an exam of 100 marks, which will be further classified into 70/30. So 70 will be our proctor based exams, okay, where you will be giving multiple choice questions as well as the subjective type questions. And the 30 marks will be the assignment exams where you can refer to the books and given the answers to the question. So it will be a short, crisp exam, making yourself familiar with the online examination system. Okay, so that's part A. And part B will be that we'll be having two submissions, which will be based on to the workshops, as what Bhakti madam said just now. Okay, so two submissions each of 50 marks, leading to 100 marks of evaluation of submissions. Together, it will be a 300 mark evaluation system.
Thank you. Yeah, don't get
Yes.
overwhelmed by the 300 marks. I know we left
Yes, yes.
those
Yeah.
numbers behind in school, but the fact is when you're enjoying learning, it's just fun and challenging. I think we're all old enough to understand that assessments are now not about failure or passing. They are just about understanding how much you have grasped and how much you've learned. But remember, this is symbiosis and it is a university, and they will look at your basic cutoff marks that are required to pass. So there is, it makes a lot of sense for you to take this program very, very seriously, because we want you to have a good time, but we also want you to learn and make sure that you have strong takeaways. With that, I mean, very good. The Dr. Devlankar, we finished in 30 minutes. That's great. Our overview and exactly as planned. We would love to take any questions that you may have. If you have any, comments, questions, please go ahead and ask us now. Remember, your last date to sign up and enroll for this program is the 4th of February. And it gives you access to the Symbiosis alumni network, which comes with its own set of benefits, but also gives you access to a lot of practitioners through the Outreach Collective and, great networks to start with right off the bat. So any questions, any comments, we are here. And it's lovely to see you, Inderbir. I can't see you, but it's great to see you here, Inderbir, Saksham, everyone.
Thank you.
And
Now you'll get to see me only.
yes, hi,
I'm
hi, hi.
traveling, but I thought this is important for me to understand because, like again, you would like to see how you want to develop the same capacity
Yeah,
in more people in your organization.
correct.
So I just thought I'll just get the brief of it and then
Yeah.
work around it.
Thank you, Inderbir. And just for everyone's information, Inderbir is the principal of a prominent school in Gurgaon. So thank you for joining, Inderbir. Any questions? We are here, or if it's all very clear, we look forward to seeing you in the enrollment list. And
Yes.
you can also DM us if you have any questions, if you are the kind of student who doesn't want to ask in front of the whole class. Happy to answer separately. All right, great. Thank you all so much for joining us. And we hope to see you all very, very soon. And have a great rest of the evening. Have a great weekend. And thank you once again. Thank you, Dr. Devlankar.
Thank you.
And
Bye bye.
thank you, Major Kadam. Thank you so much.